should be Mike Brown, who has 2 wins at the Washington track. But an unraveling season is keeping Brownie off the podium. With 5 rounds still to go, Bubba may already have his eye on Ricky Carmichael in 2005. 125 from Washougal, Washington is next on ESPN2. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest for the 2004 AMA Chevrolet Motocross Championship. And hello once again, everyone. Welcome to Washougal for the Scott USA Motocross Nationals at Washougal Motocross Park. Todd Harris along with Davey Coombs, the founding editor of Racer X magazine. Glad to have him along. We have got a great day of racing at one of the most scenic tracks in all of the land. Davey, Washougal has had some storied past, and I'm sure today will be another chapter. This is one of the most popular stops on the circuit. The riders love it here, and everyone's chasing after number 259, of course. Look at the point lead. James Stewart, a perfect 3:25 on the year. But we go back to last year. James Stewart, remember, missed the first few rounds, and it was all Mike Brown until Washougal. Well, Brownie had the lead because Stewart missed the first 4 rounds, and after that, Brownie didn't have to race with him. He was racing against Ryan Hughes, and right there, probably one of the worst crashes we've seen in a long time. That ended Mike Brown's season, opened the door for Grant Langston to win the championship. Wins among active riders. Mike Brown, James Stewart both have 2 victories here at Washougal.
3 for 3 here at Washougal. You know, did it at Unadilla, Budds Creek, and all the races I've been to. You know, all the races I raced, I've pretty much done all that. So, you know, I can at least say for right now, I'm the best 125 guy out there for sure. And Mike Brown will have something to say about that. Brownie, remember last year, didn't get the whole shot until that terrible accident.
Well, I got to get back on the podium. That's the main thing, you know, be up there and not lose so many points each week. If I'm losing any, not lose so many. But, no, just get back up there and, you know, if he makes a mistake, take advantage of it.
So Mike Brown with the right mindset, trying to get back into the battle with James Bubba Stewart. Right now, let's set it down trackside where Davey Coombs is standing by in absolute picture-perfect weather.
Back in January, Jason Ciarletta became the first rider in the history of AMA Supercross to lose his life during a competition. Today, a few of his friends came out to take a lap around Washougal. This is Jason Ciarletta and his family's favorite racetrack. And you see Danny Carlson going out there. Jason Ciarletta, no longer with us, never forgotten by the AMA motocross community.
Jason Ciarletta, number 412. Our thoughts and prayers remain with his family and friends. Now it's time for track facts here at Washougal, Washington. Davey Coombs talked about it. One of the most scenic and beautiful tracks on the circuit. Davey, 1.4 miles, not the longest track, but it is challenging. And it's also really fast. The way it's set up today, it's kind of hard packed out there. Kind of slick. The riders are really searching for traction everywhere. So we are set to go. Moto number 1 in the 125 class. As we look at the Honda starting grid, James Stewart, Mike Brown, Broc Hepler, Nathan Ramsey, Josh Grant, who has been unbelievable this year. Davi Millsaps has had a little tough go here in the Outdoor Nationals. Ryan Mills, another great rider. And the rest of the crew, 40 solid ones, including Andrew Short. Yeah, you see Andrew working on his comeback after being off for much of the season. He's riding a 4-stroke Suzuki. Todd, by my count, I think there's only about 3 2-strokes on that starting gate. Well, the skinny was that James Bubba Stewart may ride a 4-stroke, Davey. Not the case that he's holding out, representing for the all 2-strokers out there. We are set and we are racing at Washougal. Right there you saw Stewart get pinched off. He's way in the back of the pack. And that looks like out front. 48. Paul Carpenter, Stewart's teammate. Maybe Bubba should have ridden that 4-stroke. Paul Carpenter out in front. They call him Bert, somewhat of a hillbilly, they say, from Ithaca, New York. But Bert right now is running, charging out front, picking up the first hole shot of the season for Paul Carpenter. He will lead them into the green flag lap. Well, this is a good start for Paul. He's been working on that confidence thing that he had built up in the 125 East, but the results and the points just haven't been coming outdoors. Paul Carpenter's a solid rider. We've seen him in the Supercross circuit. He seems to find his niche at the right time, but he just has not been able to keep the momentum going, and something like this could be huge for him. Yeah, and ironically, the person who beat him at that Indianapolis Supercross, the closest he's ever come to winning a race, is Josh Hansen, and he's gotten a good start, something he's also had trouble with outdoors. Little Handy had a terrible gate pick, but look at this. Paul Carpenter, 48, on board the Kawasaki, running the 4-stroke and running away. Well, let's get a Bubba check here real quick, and I'm sure Bubba, despite him being his teammate, does not want to break the streak.
Right there, that is Ryan Huffman, number 112, out of nowhere. This is the first time he's ridden a national this year. Huffman running second. Of course, a lot of the Washougal fans know that this is his family's racetrack, and what an amazing job they do on it. I guarantee he's put in thousands of laps here.
Little Hanny, Josh Hansen, number 68 on board the Yamaha, runs in third right now. So it's Carpenter, Huffman, and Hansen, 1, 2, and 3 in the early goings of this first moto, 125 class from Washougal.
You see Hepler already starting to put the moves on Hansen. Gosseler is running back at 6 right there. Hepler goes by back in the trees.
Two youngsters right there battling, Broc Hepler and Josh Hansen. They switch positions. So Hepler goes into third, Hansen slides back to fourth. But your leader continues to be the man from Ithaca, New York, Paul Carpenter, number 48 on board the Kawasaki, out in front.
Here comes Huffman holding on to second. There's Hepler, and you know what? I don't even know where James Stewart is.
Well, for once, another Kawasaki is running out in front. Your leader, Paul Carpenter. There's Broc Hepler. He gets around Huffman, so Hepler on a charge. And as Davey points out, where is Bubba Stewart?
Also, you know, Hepler has had trouble the last 3 nationals, it seems like, getting out of the first lap. He's always going down the first turn or something. So this is the start he needs, and with James Stewart, right, you know, not even in the picture yet, who knows, maybe Hepler can get after him.
He's going to start one more time. You can see Stewart in the middle of the pack, Davey, fully pinched off.
Yeah, but on the inside, see where they start falling like dominoes. That's Josh Grant going down. Ryan Hughes has just had a terrible summer. Tucker Hibbert caught up there, and Andrew Short as well. Right now, those guys are trying to work their way up through, but wow, Washougal's a good track for passing on, but it's not a great track when you're underpowered, and Ryan Hughes is way underpowered.
No question about that. We'll get a good look at Josh Hansen, number 68, as he goes by, and we're getting some pressure. Here he comes.
Well, that didn't take long. James Stewart from a not-so-great start, already getting up there around the top 5. Hansen going backwards right now. Now he's got Gossery pedaling.
Bubba just is such a natural fit for this Washougal terrain as he goes to the conifers and natural rollers. It's just a sight to behold the way he works his track.
You saw the way Huffman kind of gave him birth. I don't think Huffman knew that was Stewart, but that's what Stewart's so good at. He passes guys the moment he gets to them. He does not fool around. I've said this before. It's the way Jeremy McGrath used to ride Supercross. Do not waste time following anyone. And Stewart, that's why he's able to overcome these terrible starts. When he gets on a bike of equal speed, of equal horsepower than everyone, like we'll see next year at the 250 Nationals, man, if he gets some pole shots, we could be in for some really dominant rides.
James Bubba Stewart continues his assault. A little bit of the Bubba scrub right there as he continues to work on Broc Hepler. This is a great battle. Second and third, Bubba Stewart running 259 and Hepler running 60. And just like that, he goes to the inside despite all those braking bumps in the downhill. Bubba plows right by him. Your leader continues to be Paul Carpenter, but there are situations taking place elsewhere on the track. We'll get caught up with that in just a moment. Davey Coombs making his way down there, but here comes Bubba starting to charge. Right now, let's send it down to the track and Davey.
Check it out, guys. Behind the starting gate, going to the motocross version of going behind the wall is Andrew Short of MotorWorldRacing.com team. He came back to action last week, finished 27th. Not quite what he wanted after missing a lot of time, but as you can see, this moto ends after about 1 lap, so Short going to go back to the pits.
So Andrew Short's comeback short-lived. Your leader, Paul Carpenter, followed by James Stewart and Broc Hepler, top 3. And we welcome you back to Washougal, Washington, the Scott USA Nationals at Washougal Motocross Park. Todd Harris, along with the editor and founder of RacerX Magazine, Davey Coombs, in the house as Paul Carpenter continues to lead, but Davey, his teammate, 259, is charging up.
You know, he sure was. And the funny thing is, these two guys really are teammates in the sense that they are good friends. You know, James Stewart's father, Big James, is always at the races. He's always trying to help Paul out. And Paul's from New York, so when they go out to California together, you got a couple of East Coast boys, and they've got to be good friends. And I think Bubba's doing the most that he can to help him, but I guarantee you, he will not give him a single point.
So it's Kawasaki 1 and 2 here in moto number 1, the 125 class. Paul Carpenter is your leader. James Bubba Stewart currently sits in second. Let's send it down to Davey, who's with Paul Carpenter's mechanic.
Alex, Man, what about that start? Far outside, Paul gets the whole shot.
It's the same gate that he started from last year and whole shot from. He was happy to have it. So Bubba and our truck driver were just giving him a hard time before the start. So maybe that fired him up.
It definitely worked. Good job.
Thank you.
Well, they are opposites in every sense of the word. Bubba likes the bling. Paul Carpenter, Warren Johnson Fox calls him a bit of a hillbilly. He doesn't know if he has running water or electricity, but the rumor is there's a bet on the line. If Paul Carpenter podiums, he gets to win something, Davey.
Yeah, Paul is from the mean streets of Ithaca. We used to tease him. He's from the most remote place in New York, it seems like. And, he's just, the way he conducts himself as a factory rider, he knows he's really fortunate to be there. The guys at White Brothers helped him out a few years with the 4-stroke nationals, and he parlayed that into a Kawasaki ride. And he hasn't had a lot of great results, but when he gets out there and he gets on the podium, his smile is so big. You got to be pulling for that kid.
Well, and there's a lot of speculation that he might not be on a Kawasaki next year. There's some other teams out there that would like his services because of the way he's riding right now.
If he could just put it together for a few races, I think he's got some championship potential, especially when Bubba moves up.
They call him Bert. Paul Carpenter, your leader right now, number 48 out of Ithaca, New York, but he has got a rear view mirror full of 259, his teammate, James Bubba Stewart. So the 2-stroke and the 4-stroke come through, and it is Stewart who gives a look over to Paul Carpenter and makes the pass. So Stewart goes to first. Carpenter now sits in second. And important for Paul now to try to run with 259 for as long as he can. James Stewart came from a terrible start, worked his way up to the pack, which he's so capable of doing, and now he sits in first place in Moto number 1. But you've got to give credit to Paul Carpenter. He has been able to run with him, and it took Bubba a little longer to catch up and make the pass. And as Davey pointed out, there's no way Bubba's going to cut his teammate an inch. You are looking at J-Bone, that's Jeremy Albrecht, Bubba's mechanic, comfortable and cool. Right now, let's go trackside with Davey Coombs.
All right, guys, we caught up with Andrew Short. Andrew, you're in early.
Yeah, first turn I just came together with a bunch of people with mayhem, and my shift lever broke off, and I was stuck in second gear, so can't really do much about it. And bad luck continues, so it's cool though. I'm just happy to be back at the races.
Another moto. You're going to be back out there for the second one?
Oh yeah, definitely. Can't wait.
So Andrew Short, always with a smile on his face. We'll see him in Moto number 2 in the 125 class. Meanwhile, this is the action in Moto number 1, Washougal, Washington. Your leader is James Bubba Stewart. Paul Carpenter sits in second. Back in the pack, though, they're starting to wind it up, and I think the chase is really on here, Davey.
Yeah, you see the privateer Troy Adams is sandwiched in between Hansen and Ivan Tedesco, a couple guys who won Supercrosses this year, and doing pretty good for a guy on a privateer KX250F.
Troy Adams sitting there right in the middle. Josh Hansen, number 68, on board the Yamaha. And Ivan Tedesco. Question for you. Why hasn't Ivan Tedesco excelled in motocross like he did in Supercross?
I don't know. When you get a run going like Ivan had in the 125S, 125 West, that momentum means so much. He came out to Hangtown and just didn't have a very good race. You remember he collided with that hay bale and got landed on by Danny Smith, and he's been fighting back ever since then. And, any sport is like that. It's all about momentum. Once you have the platform built up, once you have the program, and I think Ivan just needs to get a couple good races. And right there he goes to the inside of Adams. Now he's trying to get up alongside Hansen. Hansen's got the same problem. He just can't get a couple good races in a row.
And in no way am I questioning Ivan Tedesco's riding ability. It just seems that he's so dominant in Supercross that would be able to translate over into motocross, but it just hasn't found his rhythm right now. But he is a phenomenal rider. So Hansen's 68 in the Yamaha. Tedesco's moving in right behind him.
There's no doubt about Ivan Tedesco's credentials. In fact, I think he was the biggest surprise of the Supercross season. Right there, a nice inside pass on Hansen. Tedesco's usually known as a motocrosser. Speaking of motocrossers, Mike Brown now joining the battle.
Mike Brown also getting a terrible start here at Washougal. Remember last year we talked about at the top of the show, Mike Brown was the points leader coming into Washougal. James Stewart was still nursing an injury, but he was coming back to Washougal as well. But that incident with Ryan Hughes was brutal.
Yeah, and check it out. Adams is having a really bad lap because not only did Tedesco and Brown go by, now he's got Matt Walker and Nathan Ramsey behind him. I tell you what, Walker looked amazing in practice. I actually went over and told him if I'd had a camera with me and he was going through this one corner, Todd, it'd have been a cover. He was laying it so far down, dragging the clutch. He just seems really confident today, and he is coming hard through the pack.
Well, we've talked about Matt Walker a lot, that it seems like in the past he's always just ridden full throttle, which is a good thing, but he's almost ridden the bike too hard and taken too many bad chances. It looks like he's backed off just enough this year, and he's riding a lot smarter.
You got to slow down and go fast sometimes. I mean, no one wins races on the ground.
No question about that.
And Matt needs to stay off it. Lately, he's been riding really well. Unadilla and Kenworthy's. He came in here this morning, like I said, at practice. A lot of people talking about Matt Walker.
Mike Brown, another guy. Oh, and Brownie gets together with Hansen, and
right there, Walker almost gets by both of them. Mike Brown doesn't care what color you're wearing, what team you're playing on. If he wants to get by you, he is going to go by you.
He is soft-spoken, folks, but don't let that fool you. Brownie is tough, and they're going to swap some more.
Yeah, now he's got Adams back up there behind him. He's led, unbelievable. Just a bad lap right there for Hansen, and his teammate triggered the whole thing.
So Brown, number 3 on the Yamaha. Walker, 122 on the Kawasaki coming in. There is Hansen, 68. I think he's still a little bit shell-shocked on what just took place. We'll keep an eye on that.
Nice inside-out pass by Walker right there. He really got Brown looking the other way.
We'll step aside, take a break. Your leader, James Stewart, back to Washougal in a moment.
Hi, I'm Ricky Johnson, riding coach for Team Suzuki, and this is your Suzuki Riding Tip of the Week. Here in Washougal, Washington, we're going to look at starts. Typical dirt starts, the riders get way over the front because the dirt is very tacky, but here in Washington, you can see Davi Millsaps, number 188, is sitting up very upright to control the traction and also to get pressure to the rear wheel. When you come off the starting line, you want to maintain a high RPM with the throttle and control the power to the rear wheel with the clutch. If you tend to wheelie or get wheel spin, you want to make sure that you alter the power with the clutch and not the throttle. Now let's look at this in speed. Thanks for watching, and that's your Suzuki Riding Tip of the Week.
All right, thank you very much, RJ. We are back at Washougal, Washington. This is Moto number 1, 125 class, and there is Broc Hepler going through. Hepler's had a good day, and Davey has made his way down to pit row with Lee McCollum.
Well, Lee, you guys are off to a much better start than you've gone. You've gone down the last 3 nationals by my count in the first turn.
Yeah, it's been a rough last 3 weeks. You know, he's pulled it together in the second motos, but we've had a tough time in the first motos getting around the first turn or making a few laps. So this one's looking a lot better so far. Thank you.
So Paul Carpenter just ahead of Broc Hepler, number 60, on board the Suzuki, part of that super team next year on Supercross, where Ricky Carmichael jumps over there. You'll have Hepler, Millsap, Carmichael, Pastrana. I mean, you got to factor in guys like Nick Way. Who knows will be there, but there's going to be a lot of talent underneath that tent, Davey.
Well, I'm hearing DeCoster likes Nick Way enough to keep him around, possibly on a satellite deal. I'm also hearing that Sebastian Tortelli is going to come back. They're going to put him on the RMZ 450 because Suzuki has 1 year to be allowed to work in Works equipment, and I think they're going to use it, have Tortelli ride the bike at Supercross and get it ready for number 4 outdoors.
And if Tortelli has been riding Supercross, if he rides Supercross like he has in the Outdoor National, he's going to be a phenomenal addition.
And I think the people are going to benefit best with these guys right here, right. Broc Hepler and the other rookie, Davi Millsap. Didn't get a very good start here in the first moto, though he looked great in his qualifier this morning. But if I'm Millsap and I'm Hepler, I'm already thinking that I'm the luckiest guy in pro motocross because what a great guy to learn from. Ricky Carmichael. In fact, RC's already been riding with Millsap. They literally have neighboring tracks down there in the southern corner of Georgia. They ride together a lot already.
Well, Davi Millsaps and Broc Hepler, the youngsters, really the prodigies for Suzuki. Kind of like going to Harvard Law School and having your teacher be Sandra Day O'Connor. And lucking out with all that talent to follow them with Pastrana and Carmichael leading the way. You added Tortelli and Nick Way. These guys are in a win-win situation. Broc Hepler now moving to second place, getting ahead of Paul Carpenter. Carpenter led the race for quite some time until his teammate James Bubba Stewart passed him. He slid back to third, but he's still riding pretty well.
Paul Carpenter's never had a podium in an outdoor national. So I guarantee you right now, even though he slipped back to third, he's got to be happy with the way he's riding. And this thing's not over yet, although I got to tell you, Hepler really, really impressively coming through the pack.
He looks so smooth in some of the last races. As Lee McCollum said, he just hasn't had it all together, but today he looks very smooth.
Well, this race really marks the 1 year point of his career as a pro, and whoa, Mike Brown right there. You saw him stick his hand up. Mike Brown, the bad luck continues, and that looks like a blown-up motor.
Well, Mike Brown came here last year in very good position. The title chase, he got drilled accidentally by Ryan Hughes, and he went over a berm, was basically invisible. And I think you're right, Davey. There's just absolutely nothing he's going to be able to do with that bike. He's just dead in the water. Back to our leader, James Stewart. Didn't get the best start, but in typical Bubba fashion, he is out and flying.
There's people holding those crutches out over the fence. If I'm a rider, I don't know if that's the kind of sign I want to see, but you're not going to mess with James Stewart's confidence. You can see him just attacking the track. By the way, look how good that dirt looks.
Oh, phenomenal. They have done such a great job. The Huffmans have this place. I think it's one of the best tracks visually for television in the country. It's beautiful.
And I would say in the whole world, Todd. I've never seen a race from Europe that looked as stunning and as picturesque as what you have at Washougal, Washington.
As a rider at speed, is it difficult going through the shadows like that? I was always curious about the speed that Bubba carries. Is that a problem?
Well, you know, how would I know?
David, don't sell yourself short.
But I know when I'm out there riding a little bit, yeah, it gets kind of tough, especially here at Washougal, because the dirt is so rich and black and loamy, especially back there in the woods. But, you know, it just takes a second for your eyes to adjust. In fact, I think your eyes adjust 10 times faster than it seems like our cameras do, or those of the photographers. And here you see him dropping off the big ski jump. Right there, you come out of the trees into the light, and you see right now, Matt Walker, Matt Walker goes, I was just going to say, he's starting to approach Gosler.
Well, you said it. Look at the lap time at 2:28. He is absolutely flying. And you said it earlier in the show, sometimes you have to slow down to go faster.
Yeah, right there. He's just about to make a pass. And speaking of mistakes, apparently Broc Hepler has gone down at some point, and Paul Carpenter was able to get back around him.
Now, you said there's still a lot of race to go as they go into the shadows of the tall conifers here at Washougal. Carpenter out in front. Here comes Hepler, tries the outside.
Now, we've seen people pass on the inside there, not on the outside. A very nice move by Hepler.
So Broc Hepler regains second place. Paul Carpenter, though, staying in the battle. PC looking for his first outdoor podium. And if he can maintain third here in Moto number 1, he will go a long way in doing that.
Check it out. This is the battle for fourth now. Walker was able to get around Gosler again after that little spill. And I tell you, it's a pretty good moto for Gosler.
No question about that. Goose didn't get the best start, but he is working his way through the pack. And right now, he sits in 5th place, 122 on the Kawasaki. It's Matt Walker. Here comes Gosler on board the Honda, running in 5th place. Another guy who will have a shot at the podium if he can put together a second moto. And James Stewart is putting on a show. You know, we talk about the kid's talent, but it is unbelievable. He continues to just do things that amaze us. Right now, let's send it down to Davey, who's with his mechanic.
J-Bone, looks like another day at the office for Bubba, about 20 seconds out front.
Yeah, it looks like the track's real slick, so I know he didn't want to push it real hard. He just kind of wanted to get out there and ride smooth, so he's doing what he likes to do.
Doing what he likes to do, indeed. That's winning races, and Bubba's doing just that. Got to be a crowd favorite because when he comes here, he definitely gives them their money's worth. Bubba wheeling his way through. Your winner, moto number 1, James Stewart. Stewart picks up the victory. We'll talk to him when we return to Washougal. And we welcome you back to the Scott USA Nationals at Washougal Motocross Park. Let's send it down to Davey.
James, that's a pretty fantastic ride, but I got to ask you, was that a heel clicker at the end?
Well, sort of. That tail top's a little small to be doing something like that. And, you know, got a good start. You know, pulled the whole shot in 10th, made my way up to 3rd, and I took over the lead of 2nd. And when I got up front, I won, so it was good. You know, I had a great time. And my teammate, Paul, it was awesome out there. And I'd just like to thank everybody, Team Chevy Trucks, Kawasaki, Fox, Oakley, Country Coach for giving me a motor home this weekend. And my teammate, Paul, he's awesome.
This is one of those tracks, a lot of people say the 4-stroke's going to have a power advantage on you, but that's 2 years in a row, no advantage.
Yep, maybe next year they'll be able to gain about 20 seconds. So they got 20 seconds power's advantage, then I might look for trouble. So, you know, get out there and have fun and just get the second moto. Thanks.
There's a picture of a man who loves his job as we take a look at the Suzuki final results. It's Stewart, Hepler, Carpenter finishing in 3rd, then Walker, Gosler. Nathan Ramsey checks in at 6th. Tedesco goes to 7th. Ryan Hughes finishes off in 10th. Then there's Brett Metcalf going to 11th. Brian Gray rounds out your top 20. Let's go back down to Davey Coons.
Broc, that was a good ride, man. You finally didn't go down on the first lap.
Yeah, I don't know what my problem's been the last few weeks, but my Suzuki was working great. I got a good jump, and I worked worked past a few guys quickly, and everything worked out great.
There are your fastest lap times. James Stewart, no surprise, but look at Matt Walker, very fast. Let's send it back down to Davy Coombs.
Paul, this is it, man. This is the podium of an outdoor national. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You know, it feels really good to be up here. And Mike Hicks, VDF, put me out to a great start this time. Washougal, ran out front for a while, and I knew that guy they call Stewart would be coming. So once he got me, I just tried to follow him as close as I could. And for a couple laps, I could hang pretty close. And after that, it was nothing, you know.
Hey, nobody does more to protect your right to ride than the American Motorcyclist Association. Every racer on the track is an AMA member. How about you? Call 1-800-AMA-JOIN or visit AMADirectLink.com. The AMA, Rights, Riding, Racing. Now it's time to do a little catching up. This week's edition, we're catching up with Josh Wood.
I did one race this year, and it was, I mean, nothing. I mean, I went backwards in the main event, and so I think a lot of people have kind of aren't even considering me for next year, and or for the rest of this year, even at the last couple nationals. You know, I think a lot of people have probably kind of forgotten about me, but hopefully I can change that. The field's so deep right now, and there's so many new guys coming up, so I think it's easy to get forgotten about, you know, so, you know, that's why I got to do my best right now to come back strong and you know, open everybody's eyes up. To me right now, it'd be huge. I mean, not racing all year, for me to come back and, you know, I mean, I'm hoping to come back at Millville and hopefully everything goes good, you know, and everything's going really well right now, so if everything keeps progressing like it is, I hope to come back there. There's a lot of spots that have already filled. Some teams are already full for next year. And so, I don't know who's looking still. I'm kind of trying to just keep myself available to everybody right now. And, you know, all I want to do is get on good equipment for next year. I mean, that's my main goal, is to be competitive with everybody else. And so, you know, I know what I got to do to make myself ready. Just hopefully I can get someone to give me a chance. You know, it's just going to take a little bit of time for me to get ready again. And I think even at the end of the season, I'm going to be back there again. You know, I'm going to be a top guy. And next season, for sure, I mean, I'm going to come out swinging. So it's going to be good.
It looks like it's get nervous time for James Bubba Stewart, Moto 2, up next.
Incredible.
Welcome back to Washougal as we get set for Moto number 2 of the 125 class. Alex Ewan bringing the bike in for Paul Carpenter. Track is in perfect condition. Let's check in with Davy Coombs.
Down here on the starting area, I got to tell you, I don't think I've ever seen this much talent and national wins on the far outside of a starting gate. But Ryan Hughes got 10th in the first moto. He said he just cannot get a jump on the KTM 125, so he's going to try and swing around the outside like Paul Carpenter did. As for Mike Brown, Brown's bike broke in the first moto, so he had one of the last hit picks on the gate. He decided to come out here with Rhino. They talked about it, and they decided to line up at an angle, and then Rhino said, hey, you know what? If you get a good jump, just get out to the left and knock all those other guys down for me. So keep it on the outside of the gate. A couple old veterans working together.
All right, thank you, Davey. And after last year, I can't believe these two are working together. I never thought they'd even be in the same area code. As we take a look at the Honda starting grid, it's James Stewart, Mike Brown, Broc Hepler, Nathan Ramsey. They're all there. Davi Millsaps, Chris Gosler, Ryan Mills, Stephane Roncada, Daryl Hurley, and the rest of the crew. Andrew Short also back in the running, so he got that little problem fixed. Tucker Hibbert, 685, also on the line. Ryan Hughes is 105 on the left, and your boy Mike Brown, number 3 on the Yamaha, next to him.
You see Brown got an excellent jump. It coming on the outside, but it didn't work out for Hughes. And look at Stewart all the way in the back there, and Hepler almost dead last. Terrible start for guys on the podium.
So 1 and 2 from position number 1 in Moto 1 go to dead last. And once again, the folks at home who don't think Bubba can ride from the back of the pack, sit back and enjoy.
That's Greg Snell in front, by the way. Factory connection with Davi Millsaps, a second right there. Matt Walker went off the track into the water, it looked like. So it's factory connection first, Suzuki second. You see Tedesco in fourth, Nathan Ramsey in third on the factory Honda. Josh Grant, though, another bad start. We haven't mentioned his name yet. He is nowhere to be seen in front of the pack.
Millsap took a look at passing Snell right there. Didn't have the drag to get around. Snell protects his line, and here comes the rest of the field. So Greg Snell, number 52 on the Factory Connection Honda, is your leader. Davi Millsaps right behind, and look at Millsaps setting him up to the inside.
I'll tell you what, Suzuki needs something good to happen here because Millsaps' teammate, Brandon Jessman, wondered why we haven't said his name yet. He didn't qualify. He fell this morning in the LCQ and could not pass a kid named Mace for the fourth and final transfer spot. So one of the Suzuki guns is in the pits. The other one's at the back of the pack. Davi Millsaps, the only guy right now, seems like he's got a chance to get on the podium here in the second moto for Roger.
Poor Roger, the cost of these young kids are spraying him way too fast. Greg Snell continues to lead as Millsaps looks for a spot. Look at that. Millsaps on the gas quick. Snell comes right back, protects his line. And the word is that Millsaps hasn't been feeling well.
No, he was complaining of stomach cramps after the first moto, but Greg Snell, that was a real nice veteran move right there. He didn't get nervous. He didn't retaliate. He didn't hit Millsaps. He just did the exact same thing Millsaps did to him.
So Greg Snell continues to lead. This is moto number 2 of the 125 class from Washougal. There's your green flag. Lap 1 completed. Nathan Ramsey sits in third. Here comes Tedesco, number 29, on board the Kawasaki. And so far, no James Stewart sighting.
And that's Paul Carpenter. Looks like it's 6th, and I take it back. Josh Grant didn't get that bad of a start. He is running right on the edge of the top 5.
So Josh Grant getting back into the mix. Paul Carpenter having the day of his life in Washougal. The young man from Ithaca, New York may want to consider relocating to the Pacific Northwest because this track has been very, very good to him. Nathan Ramsey coming through. There goes Carpenter through. And Stewart now sitting in 9th place. Fox has him in some kind of day glow get-up right now. We'll get a report on what's going on there. But meanwhile, Davy Coombs has made his way back down to the pits, and another rider, unfortunately, has had to leave the race. Davey, what do you know?
Guys, looks like our first casualty of the second 125 moto is Kelly Smith. Team Hawkins mechanic there, Yamaha Troy rider, finished 3rd in Unadilla, holding his ribs. Looks like that's it for Kelly. Tough first lap for Yamaha Troy.
Well, Kelly Smith totally looks like he has just been winded out there, and after one lap, that is just not a good sight for him. Back to our leaders, Greg Snell, number 52. Millsap sits in 2nd, and Nathan Ramsey, number 25, on board the Honda, really putting the pressure on Millsap.
You know, it seems like Ramsey and Snell have been around forever, and then you got 16-year-old Millsaps right in the middle. Kind of a cliche, but a battle of the ages right here. Millsaps really growing with each race in his confidence after he's gone a few good finishes, although the bike is broken in the second moto, both Unadilla and in Kenworthy's. And today, like we mentioned, his stomach not going so hot. Right here, he's trying another inside pass, and Snell holds the line again.
Well, give Davi Millsaps a lot of credit because he's got intestinal issues. This is one of the last things you want to do it on the outside. You got to be kidding me. I'm spotting some day glow.
James Stewart got out there and used, it looked like 3 whoops or 3 of the hay bale covers for whoops right there. Just moving forward. He is moving up fast.
So Stewart begins his onslaught. Meanwhile, Snell doing a fantastic job out front, as is Davi Millsaps and Nathan Ramsey. And like Paul Carpenter said, they know 259's coming. It's just a matter of time.
He's coming quick this moto, too.
Snell, Millsaps, Ramsey, and here he comes. 259, James Bubba Stewart now coming into view.
And Millsaps is being relentless with Snell, but Snell doing a superb defensive job.
We're back to Washougal after this. James Stewart sits in 4th.
Riding teaches responsibility, builds confidence, and can turn children into champions.
Today.
We are back to the beautiful sights and sounds of Washougal, Washington, just outside of Portland, the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Todd Harris along with Davy Coombs, and this is a great battle. Millsaps finally gets around Greg Snell, Snell number 52, Millsaps 188, and Bubba coming into view.
Big company, 4 guys going for it right now, and Snell did a good job of holding Millsaps off for as long as he could. We'll see how much luck he has with Stewart. Oh, Stewart hit a big digger right there. Man, almost over the bars, almost touched Ramsey back around him. The track's starting to get rough. You see Bubba scrub some speed, trying to get every ounce of horsepower out of the KX125. Man, that kid rides well.
Oh, getting a little squirrely there.
Around the outside, he's falling off the back of the bike. He still passes Greg Schnell.
So James Bubba Stewart moves up to second place. This kid is just on a tear here. I think that bad start really motivated him to get to the front of the pack. Now, he's not chasing his teammate, Paul Carpenter, but a very talented rider in the young Davi Millsap.
Now, that's all he's got in front of him is Millsap. You see him coming down through the whoops. Millsap, again, he's having trouble with the stomach, so I don't see him putting up a strong fight. He's got to save it just to get to the finish line.
Well, 2 or 3 years ago, the prodigy was Davi Millsaps. Broc Hepler, James Stewart was really coming into his own in the 125 class, and now you look at it, Millsaps is really coming into his own in the 125 class, and James is getting ready to exit and go to the 250 class. But Millsaps doing a great job here. Look at him pushing to the outside, so Bubba will try the inside.
We see his mechanic, Carlos Rivera, put the sign out. He better keep moving.
You can. I was like, you can't hold off Bubba? I'd have to question that, but give him all the confidence in the world.
And look how much they've already gapped Ramsey and Snell. It's only been a half a lap. So you see that Millsaps does have the speed in him to get it going, to run on Bubba's pace, but Bubba just relentless on the KX125.
Davi Millsaps, though, I love the lines he's taking. He is taking some great Bubba-esque lines. And look at James. He's getting a little bit frustrated. Cannot find it. He comes in tight, and Davi Millsaps wants no part of that.
I tell you what, that was a very aggressive move for Bubba, but yeah, that's the way he rides. As soon as he gets to you, he'll try to pass you. And, you know, he'd almost messed up a little bit behind Snell. He had a little bit of a problem earlier when he was behind Ramsey. And that time, he takes the problem and dives to the inside and bounces Millsaps right out of the corner.
Almost looks like he lost control there for a second, unintentionally pushing him out there.
But even that works out for James Stewart.
Yeah. He's like Kramer. Everything comes up golden for him. So James Stewart is your leader. Davi Millsaps now sits in second place. Snell and Ramsey right behind, but this is a great moto number 2 here from Washougal. The track has just held up beautifully here. Congratulations to the Huffmans, doing a great job. The weather here, unseasonably warm in the Pacific Northwest, and Greg Snell having an absolute phenomenal run. Right behind him is Nathan Ramsey. Right now, let's check in with Davi trackside.
Check it out. Matt Walker, another casualty early in the 125 moto. He went down in the back. We didn't see what happened, but Walker, who had such a solid ride in the first moto, is out already.
Well, bad news for Matt Walker and Kawasaki, who is doing so well. This is the battle for 8th place right now. Broc Hepler, number 60 on the Suzuki on the charge. Davi pointed out he had a terrible start. Davi Millsaps really running the flag for Roger DeCoster, but in true Pennsylvania grit, here comes Broc Hepler working his way through the pack.
You see him move around Andrew Short, who got the bike sorted out after that clutch problem, back out there. But yeah, Hepler, not the same start he got in the first moto, but trying to move up. He's got to keep going forward, though. You saw him get around Short as soon as he got him, maybe taking a page out of Bubba's book there.
So Broc Hepler really on the gas, trying to get back up there. He had a second in moto number 1, still with designs of making it on the podium. Remember, Paul Carpenter got 3rd in podium 1, and Bubba picked up the victory. He looks like he is going to go 1-1 once again here at Washougal. One of the most beautiful tracks, Davi said, maybe in the world. The beautiful pines, the shadows, the great dirt. They do a fantastic job here in Washougal, but it has been unseasonably hot, and the riders are absolutely tearing it up. There's Davi Millsaps. There's Greg Snell sitting in 3rd. Those are your top 3, Stewart, Millsaps, and Snell. Let's check in with Davi, who is Snell's mechanic.
Nick, Greg is showing a lot of fight out there.
Yeah, he got himself a hole shot, and once he gets a good start, he's comfortable and working for second right now, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully he can pull a good finish up here.
Do you think he can keep that pace up the whole moto? I mean, Millsap's a little bit younger than him.
Well, there's 10 minutes plus 2 laps left, so he's looking pretty strong right now, so hopefully he will.
Well, as Greg Snell went by there, you saw a sign that said, re-sign Snell, and I think it might be a good word to the wise. Good advice, the way Greg Snell is riding. He is a talented rider, not a bad guy to have under the tent. This is your battle for second place. It's Greg Snell and Davi Millsaps once again hooking it up.
See Snell trying to get by on the inside now. He's going to try and go up the hill, and it looks like that stomach thing. Millsaps doesn't have the same aggressiveness that he had, and Schnell's showing a surprising amount. For a guy that hasn't been on the podium in a while, Greg Schnell riding with a lot of confidence.
So Schnell gets past young Millsaps. He goes into second. Millsaps third. James Stewart out in front. We'll be back for the conclusion of Washougal after this short break. And we are back to Washougal, the 2004 AMA Chevrolet Motocross Championship, Scott USA Motocross Nationals at Washougal Motocross Park. Todd Harris along with Davey Coombs. This is James Stewart, fastest lap time, 2:29. So it's safe to say that James is laying down on the job a little bit here?
No. I don't think James Stewart knows how to go even medium fast. I mean, it's wide open all the time, but he's still having so much fun on the bike. You know, this morning in practice, he was going on some of these jumps and actually reaching out and high-fiving the crowd as he went by. You know, I think he does things like that just to make it more interesting for himself, because he really is in a class by himself. Not only just because he's the only guy out there right now in the top 10 on a 125, but he's just that much better than everyone.
Yeah, there's so many people that gravitate to that kind of success. Every year, Fox puts together a whole new Bubba line of gear. I know Oakley's coming out talking to Anthony Paggio. They're coming out with a whole line of goggles for Bubba. Everyone wants to be a part of this guy because he is a winner, and he's just so fun on the podium, Dave. You see him a lot. He enjoys what he does. So as James Stewart continues to motor around, 2:59 is your leader, and we'll see the gap, and it is big between James and the rest of the field. Greg Schnell and Davi Millsaps having a great battle. Here is Greg Schnell, number 52, now just coming in. After Schnell, Davi Millsaps, 188. Remind you, he is battling the intestinal problems right now. We hope he gets better quick. Right now, let's set it trackside once more with Davi.
Well, you could see another Yamaha Troy rider is pulled in the mechanics area. That's Josh Hansen. Looks like he's holding his shoulder. Little handy pulling out. He had a solid ride in the first moto, but the second moto ends early for number 68.
Well, some of them are saying Ghost Rider bike into Hanny, and being the intrepid journalist that he is, I'm sure Davey Coombs will get the scoop on that, but Hanny is done as we go back to the battle for 5th place. 29 is Ivan Tedesco. Behind him is number 60, Broc Hepler. So Hepler moving up quickly. Just a while ago, he was back in 9th, and now he sits in 6th place with a whole lot of speed and a perfect line. Hepler goes in front of Tedesco. There's nothing Ivan can do there. Hepler just taking the better, faster line.
Okay, it seems that what happened with Josh Hansen is that he and Ryan Hughes got into an altercation on the track, and after Hughes banged him in the first moto, Hanny decided to repay him, and he just told me that Hughes ghost rode his bike into him, but I have to stay tuned for that. Hughes versus Hansen, no, not sure that's a fair fight.
No, not a good way to go. I'd recommend little Hanny just maybe call it a day. And, oh, we're going 3 wide at Washougal. Tedesco and Hepler, it looked like a lap rider getting into the mix there, but that was a great shot as they both came in. This is the best battle on the track right now for 5th place. Broc Hepler and the 125 West Supercross champ, Ivan Tedesco, number 29, on the Kawasaki.
This is Broc Hepler's first visit to Washougal. I'm very impressed with the way he's ridden on this track. He's the one guy on the track moving forward. You know, of course, once Stewart got out front, that was it, but Hepler really riding well. And you know what? If he keeps going forward, he might even get close to the podium.
White flag here, second moto, 125 class. James Stewart out in front, 259, has been dominant all day. Once again, doesn't get the best starts, but completely answering his critics as he picks up the checkered flag. Your winner, going 1-1 at Washougal, James Bubba Stewart, becomes a 3-time winner at Washougal. He loves this place. As we take a look at the Suzuki results at Stewart, Schnell, Millsap, Hepler, Tedesco, Ramsey, Brown, Grant, Smith, and Paul Carpenter rounding out the top 10. So don't have the abacus handy, but it looks like PC might be on the podium for his first time. Let's check in with Davey.
It looked like toward the end of the day, you were just in complete control on the KX 125, and you know, there was some talk that you might ride a 4-stroke for this race. What changed, or was that just a rumor?
Nah, you know, it's a lot of people out here that wants me to ride a 2-stroke. You know, a lot of people come up to me and say, you know, hey, you need to ride a 2-stroke, keep the 2-stroke living. So, you know, my fans tell me to do it, I do it, and it was good out there. You know, I actually fell once over there and, you know, twisted my knee, but, you know, I'm good. We're ready for Millville, you know.
So we'll take a look at the Suzuki overall results. Stewart goes 1-1, Hepler 2-4, and Paul Carpenter 3-10. That gets the job done. Gets Paul Carpenter up on the podium.
Down here with our second and third place overall finishers in the 125 class here. First of all, Brock, way to celebrate your birthday. You kept charging at the end of that moto. That's a great ride.
Yeah, my start wasn't too good that time, but I just picked the guys off one by one and rode as hard as I could. I got tired a little bit at the end, but I never let up.
Good ride. And Paul, congratulations. This is your first trophy in the AMA National Motocross.
Yeah, you know, it feels good. I didn't want to go 3:10 to get a third, but hey, whatever you got to do, you know, you got to break the ice somewhere. So I'm really happy. I'm happy for Brock and my teammate James. They all rode really well today, and man, I'm just fortunate to be up here.
You got a new refrigerator appliance, right?
Absolutely. A top 5. I guess I had one coming, so I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
You gotta love Bert Carpenter. Gets his first podium and a refrigerator courtesy of Bubba. Well, there are your standings after 8 rounds at Stewart, Brown, and Hepler, 1, 2, and 3. We say goodbye from the Pacific Northwest. For Davey Coombs, I'm Todd Harris. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Happy birthday, Brock. So long from Washougal.